Hello guys, we are Team Lumen. Right now, every product manager has the same week. Sprint starts with back-to-back meetings, transcript pile up, and LLM gets copy-pasted tour of every doc. PRD gets written, hand document gets written. Sprint ends in the stakeholder review with half of the work still working and still pending. Lumen does the whole loop in few minutes. Because of the time constraint of this demo, what you are about to see is a real run that I did just before recording this video. Same data, same flow. Every artifact on the screen you are seeing was generated live by Lumen, not pre-written. Let me walk you through the entire thing. So what happens is you see a sign up page and a sign in page. I'm just signing in with my demo email. So this is the entire domain page of Lumen. So right now, before after you sign in, we particularly ask you to put your entire context of your particular product. This context is basically the identity of what your entire product is. Your identity, audience you are tackling, the technicalities of your product has, like if you have a web platform, iOS platform, etc. Principles of your product that you have, and existing features of the product that you have. Now, what happens is once you mention the entire base product, that is basically your product context, which actually is feeded into the system so that we can actually define well context-based PRDs. Now, what happens next is we allow you to create project. So projects are basically sort of different domains that you worked inside a product. For example, for this Airbnb product, this is Airbnb Discovery. Uh, for this project, let me open you the project. Once the project opens, you are asked to edit the sprints. What is sprint? So sprint basically whatever your targets you have, whatever the North Star metrics you have for your particular products, whatever objectives and key responsibilities you have and key tasks that you want to achieve in this particular sprint, you just basically input that. This is also considered as a context for your own product. Next, we allowed you to ingest different files. So what are these files? These files might be interviews from your customers. It might be reviews from your customers. It might be something related to your own product, be it review, be it NPS responses, or be it user interviews. Once you input this product, we give you different signals of this particular product, like whatever the document is ingested. This ingested document are what what is done is basically the documents are chunked on different keywords, and as well as those chunked keywords are then clustered into different signal library, as in like what are the key signals that you have to work on in order to make your product better. Once you ingest the file, once the file is ingested, you generate a signal library. After that, synthesis happens. So what is synthesis? Synthesis basically takes the signals from your own ingested data as in like interviews or product reviews, and then it divides you into the cluster of themes. Like for example, what are the pain points the user are feeling? Like for example, as you can see, fail to consolidate booking plannings, miss nomad needs and reliable offline modes. Receive One of the issue is receiving high NPS despite missing features. Provide no group coordination or voting in your particular product. So these are some of the themes that we have clustered based on the signals that we have produced on your data. Now, once these syntheses are produced, you have different personas as well. Like personas, as in what are the users? What are these users complaining about? And what are these users grouped in? Like, for example, a group trip orchestrator is one of the user of the product. Policy bound business travel is your product who is complaining about different features in the product. Fragmented trip planner. So, like a particular trip planner who is extremely confused how to trip plan and how to navigate through Airbnb. He is one of the persona for your product. Next, what happens is you have your personas, you have your themes. Now you get features. You can basically develop features. These are different feature proposal based on ingested data that you have, based on the pain point, based on the synthesis and personas. Accumulating everything, we have a rice score for that particular feature. And now let's suppose these are the 9 proposed features. Let me click on one of the particular feature. So once I click on the particular feature, as you can see, this entire thing goes into a spec space. This is just asking me to regenerate, but this is something that I already generated for a particular feature. Based on the feature context, we allow you to generate the PRDs. So this is the entire PRD that is generated based on the feature synthesis of your customer pain points and customer personas. Based on these PRD, we allow you to also create a wireframe, a lo-fi wireframe on your entire product itself, so that you understand that how your particular feature will look once it is actually deployed on the product. As you can see, you have mobile view, you have tablet view, and a desktop view as well. Now, once you have your features, once you have your feature ready, one on each particular feature, you are allowed to create a different PRD. You can export it as Markdown, PDF, or even if you want to regenerate the entire PRD for that particular feature, you can do that. Now, what's next is comms. So comms is basically communication. The communications is basically whatever communication you have to send it to the engineering team, like what the engineering team has to do for that particular step. A stakeholder one pager explaining what are the features we are implementing, and a Slack draft, a Slack message for your engineering team. Then you go to handoffs. Handoffs are basically for each particular feature. You have your own Kanban board ready regarding what sprint you have to take, and for each particular sprint, what particular feature that you have to implement. Once that feature is implemented, you have different sprints. And then what you do is you are allowed to export that particular sprint into Markdown files in your linear CSV. If you want to connect it to an MCP, you have an MCP JSON. And if you directly want to put the entire sprint into JSON, uh, you have like an option to export to a Jira XML. Now, what is this? Like all the product comes into sign up to dev ready tickets, row files in, and export sprints out. Week of work done in few minutes. And yeah, that's Lumen for you guys. Thank you so much. YouTube पर upload कर